flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel. I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now we're going to talk about planets in the 12th house. Now, what is the 12th house? Now, 12th house is a ruler. I like to say the houses rule the signs. The signs don't rule the houses. The houses was here first. The houses is the 12 astrological point of views that God took when he was doing his daily 360. When God was doing its daily 360. So we know when that sequence of 3 took place, right? When it became 3, it became 1. And then the first direction God looked was the first direction as of experiencing its surroundings. So the first direction it looked was, I'm here. So that's the first direction it looked. That's Aries. Then the second direction it looked was, what do I have? That's Taurus. Then the third direction it looked was Gemini. Fourth direction was Cancer, and so on and so forth until we get to the 12th house. And then once he gets God gets back to 1, then God did a full 360. The 12th house is the last 30 degrees of that circumference. So what happens here is, since God had already seen itself, the mirror of itself, which is the 7th house, the depth of itself, which is the 8th house, the wisdom of it, of understanding everything it went through, which is the 9th house, how to build it, which is the 10th house, how to communicate it, which is the 11th house, and then once we get to the 12th house, how it becomes whole, how it becomes part of the collective conscious. This is what the Holy Bible actually means. Holy, whole Bible story, the whole story. 12th house is the last house because it's the whole. 1 plus 2 is 3. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about to drop this mixtape called 3 Tuesday. Start dropping videos for it and shit. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the metaphysics behind the 12th house, it's the collective conscious. Now, it's on an emotional level because it's trying to understand the emotions and feelings amongst the collective. So right now, a lot of that energy and a lot of that essence gets filtered through the Pisces sign. So the 12th house itself deals with the subconscious, the spirituality, the broad perspective of how you're supposed to feel about the whole circumference, the whole story, the whole 360. You know what I'm saying? Everybody within that circle, within that circumference, within that realm of reality. So when we start to talk about planets in the 12th house, a lot of times these things don't get played out in reality. These things that temper with you before it gets into your reality. So these may be thoughts, philosophical thoughts, because Jupiter rules this house. This may be illusional thoughts because Neptune also rules this house. And it may be real creative thoughts and a lot of things you subconsciously do and a lot of ways you subconsciously act. That's what the 12th house is going to consist of. And a lot of times, a lot of people like to say it deals with the past, but I like to say that's more your north and south node and what planet, what house they're in, and other different aspects and Chiron and this, that, and the third. But when we want to talk about the 12th house, just because it's a fluid house, it can connect to your past. And a lot of times, your past is things that you subconsciously do here. It's things you already subconsciously do and how you already subconsciously act. But like if you really want to know how you already subconsciously do things and how you already subconsciously act, then you look towards your south node. You know what I'm saying? So right here, let's get into planets in the 12th house. Now, when planets, let's talk about the sun. So when we say planets in the houses, these are not your actual natal placements. These is not actually what you're planning out, because your planet could be in a specific sign, but it could fall in another house. For an example, my moon sign is in 8 degrees Sagittarius, but it falls in a Scorpio house, which is the 4th house. So right here, I may be planning out Sagittarius type ways into the 4th house, and then my 4th house may be illusionized by Scorpion type situations. So that's all it means. If you have an earth house, you may have an earth house and a fire house, or an earth planet, an earth sign, and when it comes into your houses, it may be in a fire house, or it may be in a water house. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So right here, when we talk about your sun, and your sun being in the 12th house, right here, this is going to create. Now, your sun is when we talk about planets in the houses in general, we're talking about the planets playing themselves out. You know what I'm saying? So the sun is energy. It brings light. It brings vitality. It brings energy too. It brings, like, wherever there's dark, it brings lightness too. You know what I'm saying? So right here with the sun being in the 12th house, people are going to be aware of things that you subconsciously do, ways you subconsciously act. So a lot of times it may be stuff, people may say things about you and you be like, that ain't me, that ain't how I act, but it may be something how you already subconsciously act. And the sun just brought light there, just brought attention there. You know what I'm saying? So right there, so right there, you may a lot of times play the role of the illusion, or you may be enlightened. This allows you to be enlightened about certain illusions, but you may play the role of an illusion at times. This makes a person who's enlightened and want to take action towards their creativity, but a lot of times they may have self-doubt or not enough confidence in what they actually trying to cultivate. Also, with the sun right here in the 12th house, a lot of times you see the behind the scenes realm, and a lot of times you may be there so much that when it's time to be in reality, you become ungrounded. Now, you can have an earth sun, but if for some reason it falls in the 12th house, you won't be as grounded as a regular earth sign. You'll be a little bit more into the illusion realm a little bit, you know what I'm saying, with the way your actions. Now your actions going to be, the way you act, going to be very creative, very dreamlike, you know what I'm saying, very imaginative, but sometimes you're just going to have to understand how to decipher between illusions. And you understand illusions more than anyone else, but a lot of times you may not be able to see yourself in it, because the sun likes to burn out wherever it's at also. So wherever there's too much light, there's blindness, you know what I'm saying. So you could think you know it all. Wherever the sun is at becomes a know-it-all also. So you could think you know it all when it comes to creativity, imagination, dreams, to the point that you becoming your own illusion and not know the true reality of what's actually being creative and what's actually being. So you end up being unique, but you make it be too weird to the point that it don't apply to anything. Now, the moon right here in the 12th house. Now the moon is your right here is going to bring comfortability, or it's going to bring where you're going to be uncomfortable at. It's going to bring sensibility. It's going to bring your worldview. It's going to bring a lot of situations that you manifest. So wherever the moon is at, it manifests, it brings your worldview, it brings the world you live in, and it brings comfortability and uncomfortable. So wherever the moon is at, that's what it's going to do. So the moon in the 12th house, a lot of times it makes you comfortable when you're able to be in your own world, when you're able to live fantasy-like, when you're able to live your dreams. So a lot of these people, they have a dream that they would like to live, but if they don't actually feel like they're accomplishing that, this can make them highly uncomfortable, highly sensible to life. Also, with the moon in the 12th house, all these people should keep a dream journal, because your dream's going to be enlightened. Your dream's going to be super enlightened. So with the moon being in the 12th house, you're already a daydreaming type of person. So when you sleep, a lot of times you rather be in that world. A lot of times, these people who like to be passive towards reality and practical type things, and like to disappear, maybe like to run from their problems a lot of times, or if they was due to other planetary alignments or due to how they was raised, the way that they attack their problems is very illusionary, like very dreamlike, very emotions attached to it, not very unlogical, like unrational. You go purely based upon how you feel. A another thing with the moon in the 12th house, now the benefits it's going to bring is you're going to be able to connect with others. You're going to be able to understand others on a subconscious realm, on a spiritual realm, on a emotional level. You're going to be able to understand other people's moods and emotions, and you're going to know how to go with the flow more than others. And you're going to feel uncomfortable when there's people in the room who's not going with the flow, or people in the room who's not aligning themselves with the room. So if you grew up real negative, you're gonna oppose those who may be positive to a certain degree. If you're real positive, you're gonna be if you grow up in a real positive surrounding, then you're gonna be aggressive towards those who are negative and want to detach yourself emotionally from them. Now with the moon right here, also you're gonna be able to your dreams become reality a lot faster than others. So be careful what you're dreaming about. Be careful what you're into. Be careful what kind of people you surround yourself with, what kind of spirits you're around, what kind of emotional stability you conduct yourself with. Because once you carry it in your dreams, your internal come out externally a lot faster than others. So be aware of that. Now Mercury. Mercury hates being here. Now Mercury is your thinking, how you analyze, and how you communicate. So wherever Mercury is at, this is what's on your mind. This is how you think. This is how you construct your thoughts. This is how you analyze. So right here, Mercury in the 12th house, you like to analyze your dreams. You like to analyze your creativity. You like to think logical of it. You like to see what is the instructions. How did I actually do that? What is my dreams actually made of? Not what's the meaning behind the dream, but why did you have the dream in the first place? Analyzing it. And you like to conversate. You like to communicate about your dreams. You like to conversate about things you want to do. You like to communicate a lot of times about your feelings, how you feel about things, how others should be emotionally feel about situations, how others should go about in a situation. A lot of times a lot of Mercury in 12 houses play peacemakers. A lot of Mercury in 12 houses are judges. You know what I'm saying? Mercury in the 12th house, these people like to analyze. A lot of these people are astrologers. You know what I'm saying? These people, they like to take spirituality and bring it into a logical perspective. They like to bring it into they have a way of communicating it. Just like, for an example, my Mercury is in the 8th house. So I have a way of, my mind is always on 8th house things. So I have a way of analyzing. If this is what I'm analyzing all day, then I'm going to end up being able to have a way of constructively communicating it. So right here, this is what people do in the 12th house. So things that they subconsciously do, how they subconsciously act, their dreams, their creativity. These people are highly creative. These people can be writers. These people can be like authors, book writers, movie scripts, all kind of shit right here. You know what I'm saying? So that's Mercury in the 12th house. The only fault here is a lot of times when it comes to expressing the emotions and feelings, they may try to put it in a box or put it in a and see right here, this is unlike the fourth the water houses. I like because each 3 houses trine have a broad perspective as a whole to them, and the water houses is the 4th, the 8th, and the 12th houses. And they all act each differently. Every sign is different. Just because you're the same element of a sign, you could be a Cancer. Someone else is a Pisces. You're totally different. The only thing you're going to agree on, not even agree. The only thing you're going to kind of understand each other on is that you're both emotional and you both deal with feelings. But the way you do deal with them is in totally different ways. This is why you can clash. Now, see, the 12th house is a more expressive, emotional, and feeling type. So right here, the 4th house, any planet that comes in the 4th house becomes wanting to initiate and create new ways of the emotions and the feelings. You know what I'm saying? So by me having the moon here, we know the moon brings comfortability. So, but I have the moon in the 4th house. So I only feel comfortable when I'm initiating and creating new ways of how to feel. Or the emotions behind domestic issues and things like that. And then a lot of my domestic issues are very dark in the home life because it's Scorpio. Now, in the 12th house right here, regardless of what sign you have here, which originally is supposed to be Pisces, the ultimate goal right here is, now, like, just like the 8th house will be Scorpio house. That's how you handle your own emotions and feelings. Then the 12th house that's when you get ready to bring you bring your emotions and feelings into the world and connect it to the collective consciousness. So right here, when you have the 12th house is more expressive. So right here, let's go to Venus. Venus loves to be here. Now, the downfall of Mercury is it could block off. It could block off that connective of the emotions and feelings and want to analyze everything. So it would make a person feel like this person doesn't care when this person just may not know how to emotionally express it. With Venus here, Venus loves to be here. Venus is exalted here. So Venus is love, appreciation, value, how you relate to others, and pleasures. So it gets to do that in the 12th house because it gets to love and appreciate and value its dreams, creativity, imaginations, even illusions, even when you can sit back and think of your fantasies and stuff like that. With Venus here, you get to love and appreciate that. So this makes highly intuitive people, highly creative people, highly passionate people, highly people who want to value others. You know what I'm saying? Also with Venus right here being in the 12th house, you're going to have a love and appreciation and value for others, other people, emotions and feelings, the way other people come across, the way other people dreams. You're going to love and appreciate. You're going to have appreciation for other people's dreams. Yeah. Other people appreciate values and shit. Other people's imagination, other people's dreams, other people's how other people relate, how other people compromise. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna want to be in a situation where you only are able to compromise, and you're able to put yourself in a situation when you can relate to others on a subconscious, on a spiritual level, and things of that nature. Now you may indulge right here. Venus in the 12th house may cause a little indulgence. You may indulge into your pleasure because you may have fantasies, and if your fantasies depend on drugs, you may feel like this drug is you may feel like you need this drug to tap into the fantasy realm or to tap back into that pleasure. So and Venus gives support wherever it's at. So Venus gonna give you the appliances or whatever you need to get back to that realm. So right here you may have access to overindulge, where you may need to learn how to do things in moderation right here. A lot of Venus and 12th house people end up in jail. Also, you have to watch that. End up in jail for things of other people, things other people done, and things other people have did, and things of that nature. So you have to watch that other, and not to give all yourself to others, and learn how to receive some too. You know. Now Mars in the 12th house. Now Mars in the 12th house. Now Mars is your intentions, your willpower, your desires, your passions. So when it's in the 12th house, you're gonna have that for your dreams, for your imagination, your creativity, but also your subconscious, how you subconsciously act. A lot of ways how you subconsciously do things. It's going to be aggressive. It's going to be intensive. People are going to think you always have another intention. Your intentions is always somewhere else, or something always predicated towards your intentions subconsciously. You may have all intentions for the good, but you may give off an energy to others of another type of intention, to the point that people can't really pinpoint what you intend to do a lot of times. So you have to understand that also. Now, when it comes to Mars being in the 12th house, you have to learn how to not get over emotional or overly constructed into illusions, because a lot of times you can throw it away. You think others feel about you, or you may have this perception on others that may not be true. Or you may think others look at you in a way that may not be true, and then you may aggressively dive into these realms of reality to the point that it may come out aggressively at times. So be wary of that also. You know what I'm saying? You may do a lot of things subconsciously that you shouldn't do. But a lot of times, on the good end, this makes you a very passionate person when it comes with Mars in the 12th house. And this makes you attack your dreams. And you attack your dreams, whether it's an illusion or not. You attack your dreams. You know what I'm saying? Now, you better go to the store?
Yeah.
Ooh, you should get me some drink real quick, bruh.
I'll be right back.
Hey, hey, come here real quick.
Yeah.
Now, Saturn in the 12th house. Now, check this out. Now, Saturn is how you gain structure in one's life, but it's also how you gain it's how you gain structure in your life, but it's also boundaries and restrictions and limits, and where you're gonna put boundaries and restrictions and limits at. You know what I'm saying? You can just grab me a iced tea and shit. They got the peach ones though. If they ain't got the matter of fact, nah, Guzzler.
Hold on, what you want?
You know the Guzzlers.
Alright.
The blue one. If they ain't got the blue one, let's get any other kind. Yeah, grab 2 of them as you can.
You said 2?
Yeah, cause Marissa, shit.
For sure. That's it.
And some shows. Well, fiestas.
Fiestas.
Yeah, them white grape or strawberry.
Okay, great grapes.
Good looks. Alright, now Saturn in the 12th house. Now it's how one gains structure in one's life, but it's also where one put boundaries and restrictions and limits on things. And it's where one gonna receive boundaries and restrictions and limits also. So now that you know that, keep this in mind. You're gonna witness a lot of boundaries and restrictions and limits when it comes towards your dreams, when it comes towards your creativity, when it comes towards getting things across effectively, when it comes towards to understanding things from a reality point of view, when it comes towards being grounded. Every time you try to do something, it seems like there's a roadblock there. And see, Saturn is trying to teach you that you have to handle these tasks first before you could witness the labor of it. You know what I'm saying? See, Saturn is tied to the Earth house trine, which is the second, 6th, and the 10th house. And Saturn rules the 10th house. So what happens here is Saturn is like the fruits of a labor, but you're not going to see it without the labor. So Saturn needs you to understand that. And in the 12th house, it never really wants to do that. Now, it's like a sextile, so Saturn in the 12th house people actually has support into grounding themselves when they want to, but a lot of times they face a lot of early fall shortcomings in life of not having stability to do what they actually want to do, or to do their fantasies, or to do they may have even got taken away from their childhoods a lot of times, because it may be certain cartoons or certain things that other kids get to watch and they can't even watch it because they may not have cable, or they may not have representation to it, or they may not even was into it like that, because their parents and the people or the siblings that they grew up under was so serious like that, it made them feel like that's childish at an early age. So a lot of these people grow mature a lot faster than a lot of other kids. Like to see through realities, like they don't. It's unfantasy like. It's unchildhood like. You know all the dreams and stuff you had as a kid in order to have an imagination. Because you know the 12th house is like this. You know, it's dreams, illusions, creativity, and imagination, but they all go hand in hand. It's like you have to understand not to dive deep into an illusion, but you have to have a sense of some kind of illusion if you want to be creative, because the more dream like you are, the more imagination you have, the more creative you are. Now, the deeper you dive into your creativity, your creativity is nothing else but an illusion. You know what I'm saying? But you have some who can't decipher reality from illusion, and you have some who utilize their creativity and bring it into this existence to the point that the illusion becomes practical enough for people can pick it up. Then you have people who just can't find something to hold on to for that. And that's Saturn right here in the 12th house. You're searching for something and you're falling. It's like you're like a rock in the middle of a river. You're on a rock, a little rock in the middle of a river. And every time you see another rock that you could jump onto to get on land, as soon as you get closer, you see something messed up with that rock to the point that it won't support you. And you have to wait wait till you float some more till you see another rock to get back on land. That's how Saturn here. So these people, it's going to make the people around them look at them like they business orientated. Like this person is a no nonsense person. This person is about their business. But how they feel to themselves is because they have nothing else to grab onto, and they wish they had imagination like everyone else. So a lot of times they may force one to themselves. And these people these people may come up with creative things that other people can gravitate towards and they can make money off of. You know? Jupiter in the 12th house. Now Jupiter loves to be here. Jupiter rules the 12th house. Jupiter rules the 12th and the 9th house. Now with Jupiter in the 12th house, what is Jupiter? Experience. Now we know experience is tied to fluid. So we know it's tied to the fluid fire sign, and it's tied to the fluid water sign. And water is fluid. But we have mutable fire, which is fluid fire, Sagittarius. And we have mutable water. We know mutable is fluid, and we know water is fluid in general. It's a lower density of a fluid. So, you know, water signs in general have some of the essence of the fluid energy. You know what I'm saying? It's not the other way around. So right here, with now you have Jupiter. Jupiter is experience. So experience come from the fluid element. We know Jupiter is the misty planet. It's a gas, mist, moist planet. Now, and it's expansion. So we know anything you add water to, it expands. You boil some rice, the rice expands. You know what I'm saying? So right here, when you put water in a balloon, it expands. So right here, Jupiter is able to connect to the broad perspective of emotions and feelings. It gets to do what it loves to do. If it like in the 9th house, the 9th is mutable fire. That's fluid fire. So that's being able to adapt to itself or other people's ways of feeling and seeing things. Jupiter loves to be there because it gets to see the broad perspective of how the viewpoint, aka how to see something and how to feel about it. And in the 12th house, it gets to do that with how to feel about it and what kind of emotions the collective consciousness is supposed to have behind it. So Jupiter gets to have a lot of wisdom in these houses. So in the 12th house, it gets to have wisdom, knowledge, and experience. And it gets to experience the emotions and feelings here. And it gets to gain wisdom and knowledge out of it. So right here, it understands a lot of teachers have this placement. A lot of gurus have this placement. A lot of preachers have this placement. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you have Jupiter in the 9th or the 12th house, you're going to have a spiritual inclination, a guru inclination. I have Jupiter in the 9th house. My Jupiter is 9th and 10th house cusp, but it just always says in the 9th house on all the charts. But we know when we break down cusp, is a bigger element that a lot of astrologers may not tap into. But anytime you have Jupiter in the 9th or the 12th house, you're going to have a spiritual inclination about you, a father-like, mother-like inclination about you, a higher wisdom, knowledge. Even if you don't know shit, you not knowing shit, people are able to learn from you. They get to learn what not to do from you and shit like that. You just carry this presence. You know what I'm saying? So if you're able to cultivate it, you're able to do that in the right way. You know, if you're able to cultivate it in the right way, you're able to utilize it and have it benefit you and not overexalt it. Now, what that means, when a planet is home, a lot of times, what do you do when you home? You can do what you want to do when you want to do it. So you could burn yourself out or get lazy. So a lot of times, you could not do your true calling when you have Jupiter in the 9th or the 12th house. Or a lot of times, you can overly preachy, overly teachy. You know what I'm saying? So you have to learn a balance. Learn how to cultivate the energies. And when it's in the 12th house, the energies is going to be through the emotions and the feelings. So you have to learn. You already got inclination of wisdom of the broad perspective of how the collective consciousness may feel and their emotions and how their emotions may came about in the first place. You already got that. So now since you know better, you have to use that for your higher knowledge, for your higher wisdom, for your higher calling. You know what I'm saying? And that's Jupiter in the 12th house.